welcome to the Dr. Greg Show, November 23rd, 2025. Hope you guys are having a good day. Welcome. We got some interesting science news to talk about. We got some things to catch up on. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us. BC Jen, we're starting with the vaccine party. You got one more. Nice, man. Good job. Got a vaccine, guys. We're going to need our strongest Mavas in chat, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting off strong with the vaccine party. Thank you. Good job, BC. All right, it's 11:40, guys. 11:40 vaccines in our community. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I love to see it. Hi, Dr. T. How's it going? Hi, Ducray. How are you? Thank you, guys, giving them the Mava love. We're up to 1,140 vaccinations, guys. That's just in our community. That's just people that have come in here that have said, "Hey, I'm vaccinated recently," and that's a lot. We're close. We're coming in. We're eyeing in 95% of billions. So we got a lot to go. We're gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? Hope you're having a good day. We have some tracker updates to look at. We're gonna look real quick, see if they have been what's been going on with any of the anti-science bills, if any of them have any actions last week. And it doesn't seem like it. Looks like November 4th, and so one of the legislators emailed us, said that they're actually probably not in session. They're not going to come back for a little bit anyway. They've kind of like taken the holiday off. So a lot of the state and state senate and state houses aren't a full-time job. They're not at their capital constantly, so it actually doesn't surprise me that that's the case. They'll have kind of like spurts a couple times a year, and they'll all go down there and get it going. So yeah, we'll check that next week, see if anything is gotten by. If the government is open, should it be easier to get a COVID shot? I don't know if that's the case, Brendan, because it's really about the CDC's recommendation. That is the real kicker, and that's what makes it easier, not through insurance companies. It really has nothing to do with the government being open. So, yeah. All right. Well, first things first, ladies and gentlemen. Exclusive for Science Mag. I'm vaccinated fully. However, I keep needing to redo my MMR and Hep B about every 2 years. Kiki, are you getting blood titers in order to do that? Hi, Manny. Is that what your goal, your idea is? Is that you're getting blood titers to know that you're needing that? Because some people just aren't capable of getting the interesting. Okay, yeah. So you're just not able to get that for whatever reason. Hey, at least you can. You know that. And honestly, with everything going on with the insanity with the MMRs, hopefully you do not live in Canada. But yeah, that's sometimes I have heard about it, Kiki. Yeah, that it is possible. It is a little bit more rare than not getting any vaccinations at all, or not being susceptible at all. So it does happen sometimes. All right, guys. Well, let's get going. Let's read this exclusive. I'm really curious. I mean, so the ending all monkey research, this has actually been kind of already a goal with science for a really long time, is to kind of minimize the amount of apes that we kind of experiment on. I remember probably 10 years ago now, there was an initiative to lower the amount of primates that were just being worked on. So ending all monkey research, honestly, it's not that surprising, actually. Unfortunately, what is the problem is, and as the subtitle says, the CDC is going to end all monkey research, and studies related to HIV and other infectious diseases will be phased out, sources say. And that is the problem. And that is the thing, guys. I mean, it is ironic, isn't it, that the people that say, oh, the vaccines haven't been tested enough, the medicine hasn't been tested enough, that the mRNA vaccine hasn't been tested enough, are ending hundreds of millions of dollars, and maybe at least a billion, right? Because we know 500 million just in the mRNA vaccine, more in HIV here. Probably, I mean, at least over $1 billion just in these programs that we can name specifically. So, um, just another way, guys, another chip at the armor, right? Um, so, scientists at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Can we even say that, guys? Are we even trying to control disease if we allow so much unvaccinated spread? You know what I mean? Like it seems like we are helping the diseases be uncontrolled. I mean, what should be the new word for the CDC? If we're not controlling disease, what should it be? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. What is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention? What should that name be? Bonus points if it can still be CDC somehow. Have been told to phase out all their monkey research. The directive, communicated to the CDC staff by the Doge employee, what? By a former Department of Government Efficiency employee and recent college graduate who is now a top official at the agency. Say that is wild to me. Will end studies on approximately 200 macaques. The fate of the animals, largely used in work on HIV prevention, is unclear. HIV still in pandemic, guys. Some may be transferred to primate sanctuaries and others will be euthanized. Let's see what you got. Center for Information About Diseases. I mean, there's not really that much information. Center for Big Pharmaceutical. I would say Center for Diluted Chamomile Tea. Disease catalyzing. That's a good one. Apart for the retirement of research chimpanzees initiated. Oh man, look at that! I did not pre-watch, guys. Pre-watch, I swear. Apart from the retirement of research chimpanzees initiated by the NIH a decade ago, I told you guys. We were. I pre-watched the future. The move would mark the first time a U.S. agency has ended its in-house non-human primate program. It's unprecedented, says the Sally Thompson Iritani, the assistant vice provost responsible for the University of Washington's animal care program. Since Donald Trump took office in January, the heads of several U.S. research agencies, including the FDA, the EPA, and the NIH, have announced plans to reduce their reliance on animal studies. Instead, the agencies aim to invest more into organ chips and other new approach methodologies. I mean, in theory, I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that there could be, they are notoriously expensive, these primate studies, but how do you know that they are similar enough in results? How do you know that you're getting similar outputs? I think that you can't just be so heavy-handed. So that would be my take on it. CDC's orders have communicated by a relatively unknown former Doge employee named Sam Beta. Okay. Several sources tell Science. Beta, that's his name, guys, Bayda, who has recently named the CDC's deputy chief of staff. The HHS has confirmed, Bloomberg News, has a sparse online presence with no obvious evidence of a science background. He graduated with a degree in economics from Columbia in 2023, and in 2020 he co-authored an editorial expressing interest in volunteering to be a part of a COVID-19 vaccine challenge trial. A few weeks ago, Beta told CDC to wind down its primate research program. According to a government official who is familiar with the situation but is asked not to be identified. The agency has an acting director, but according to the official, Beta said he was speaking for HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, who recently has made curtailing animal research part of his Make America, his MAHA agenda. Beta has also been newly tapped to lead several initiatives that will restructure the CDC. Man, so good we have this Beta guy to do everything for us. That's so nice. He's just doing everything. So we're so happy. He's telling us to do only the right things, guys. How nice. The monkeys, a mix of rhesus and pig-tailed macaques, housed in the CDC's Atlanta headquarters, have been used to study HIV, hepatitis, and other infectious diseases. HHS aims to approve a plan to shut down the research by the end of the year, according to the government source. It's all happening ferociously fast, that person says. There is no choice but to end the program. CDC did not respond directly to questions about its monkey program, but an agency spokesperson told Science by email CDC regularly evaluates its research project portfolio, including non human primate studies, and strives to use non animal research methods when feasible. Yeah, I mean, that for sure. I mean, that's just like you're doing less harm. I think that I don't think that we put enough in the animals that have sacrificed their lives in the name of science. Genuinely, I think that we have to think about that when we, in science, when we, you know, go through experiments with these animals, we say we are sacrificing them, and we are learning and the dignity of their lives. We have to make that science be worth something, right? We have to use that and make sure it's good science and it's an important thing that we think about the importance of that life. We can't just throw that away. The White Coat Waste Project, an advocacy group that has been pushing to end government support for animal research for years, cheers the decision. This is exceeding our expectations, says Justin Goodman, the organization's senior vice president of advocacy public policy. We think this is a standard for other agencies. What's the standard? Things just change by someone that has no background in the agency, and we just listen to him and with no background, no experience. Biomedical scientists warn the move will be a big mistake. CDC's monkey research program has been critical for developing pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV, they say, a prevention strategy that has helped slash infectious rates around the world. The program also evaluates preventatives for several other sexually transmitted infections, says Daskaleskis, a former director of the agency's Division of HIV Prevention. Daskaleskis resigned in August over concerns about the direction CDC was taking under the Trump administration. Whatever next drug Merck or Gillette will come up with to prevent these diseases, I'm not sure what's going to happen if it doesn't start at CDC. It's a good point. Yeah, that is a weird point. It's a huge loss for the HIV field, said Deborah Fuller, a director of the Washington National Primate Research Center who has studied HIV for 30 years. She says CDC's monkey research has been at the forefront of developing microbicides that protect women from HIV, something other animal models have failed to do. There are no real alternatives. Some of the animals in the current program are in the middle of studies. The government official adds, if this is ended prematurely, the person says all of this research will be lost and the investment wasted. Yeah, guys, I think it's a huge thing that people don't realize. Like, you can't just stop some studies in the middle, right? It's really imperative that you keep all the data tables. It's like, and it's because of statistical significance, right? So how do you know that the changes that are being made are just because the variable that you introduced and not this jump in funding, that maybe somehow the funding gets reinstated or something happens? And how do you need the other through line. You need all, it's like taking out one of the walls to the house, right? You need it in order to make that roof. You need that foundation. And without all the pieces, you can't do the statistical analysis to know whether or not it's actually working. Yeah, the animal testing would be for nothing. Yeah, exactly, Bailey. All those sacrifices would be for nothing. Exactly. The eventual fate of the monkeys is uncertain. Employees have pushed for a gradual phase out and asked about the animals being transferred to one of the national private research centers run by universities or another government institution, so the research can continue. But HHS appears to have other plans. Oh, great! In October, Beta reached out to Scott Kubish, who runs the Peaceable Primate Sanctuary, one of the largest monkey refugees in North America. The Winnemac, Indiana facility was made a name for himself by working with academic labs to retire their former research animals. We wanted to know how many monkeys we could take immediately, Kubish says, and whether it would be possible to retire all of them within a year. That would be a tall order for any sanctuary, even one as large as the Peaceable Primate. Funding for the retirement of lab monkeys has traditionally come from individual facilities and private donors. Kibash says it would take close to $14 million and at least a year for Peaceable Primate to prepare for an additional 200 monkeys. I'm very interested in working with them. He says it just hinges on funding. Oh, man, it's so great that they just have unlimited money, guys. It's really in the spirit of cutting funds. Somehow Doge has unlocked the unlimited money glitch. I wish we could have just done that before. Why couldn't we just infinite money glitch the money before? Apparently, they're just having billions and millions of dollars just to throw at things. The CDC monkey program was in jeopardy even before it was ordered to shut down. The U.S. House of Representatives budget bill that sets 2026 spending levels for CDC would zero out funding for the HIV division at the agency. What? Oh, okay. So like a double attack. Great. So we didn't really need the HIV division anyway, apparently. Oh my God. If the Senate agrees in a final funding bill, studies on most of the CDC's money would end, says a high-level agency source who was asked not to be named. There seems to be an explicit desire to stop non-human primate research in toto. Scientists involved with the primate research at other agencies are watching the CDC situation anxiously. We have no clarity on our institutional supporting for funding. It's a huge problem for morale and our ability to function. Guys, this is what we were talking about, and this is why, like my research, my private company, they laid everyone off because of exactly this. There's no clarity. So when in terms of capital expenditure, which is CapEx, and you hear this a lot, like in if you listen to CNBC or any of these Wall Street like financial things, capital expenditure is basically the rate at which companies spend money. So they're spending money on programs and development of new technologies and all that kind of stuff. Are they spending money right now in the United States to build out things? No. The idea is a lot of these biotech companies are not increasing their capex because there's no certainty about what the future could have, and that is the problem. You need certainty and clarity that there is going to be a similar trade scenario, and they're not going to get trapped. So what's happening in the last year is that you have a lot of companies sitting back on their money, not buying. Hey, Bill. So and here we go. This is what we're seeing right now. Everyone is just kind of frozen. Says so a senior investigator at the FDA, which currently houses 45 baboons and macaques. The animals are used in pertussis, tuberculosis, and other disease research. Wow, wow, guys, there's something about a trend here. I can't get it. All these things that are viruses cause disease, and the disease that's being researched, weird. It's like the ones that they're attacking the vaccines on, they're also stopping research into the disease itself that vaccine prevents. Wild. I'm just like throwing out ideas, you know what I mean? We're just spitballing. The animals are used in pertussis, tuberculosis, and other disease research. If the program is in danger, we'll be the last to know, says the investigator who asked not to be identified, in fear of retaliation. Free speech, right? Nothing like free speech. In a response to a query from Science, HHS did not address plans to shut down the monkey research at FDA, but it did point to the agency's roadmap for reducing toxicology testing on the animals. But wait a second. If there's microplastics and environmental causes for these diseases, and it's not viruses, because viruses don't exist and viruses don't cause disease, the environment does, why aren't they just doing the environmental tests that the RFK would need in order to prove Maha right. Why aren't they just doing that research now? Anyone? I don't, because I mean, obviously they have a lot to prove, right? They have a lot to show. They need to prove some of the things that they're talking about, right? RFK has to have a study in order to back up these claims. I mean, are they going to use anything to make a study or make a claim, or are they really just going to make it up while they go along? It seems like they're just going to make it up as they go along, and they're not going to use any study or research in order to prove what they're saying, huh? They're going to dismantle the research into diseases and then cover that up and say that we don't need that because we don't need pertussis research because and then when pertussis and whooping cough it goes through and rampages through our communities and we see outbreak after outbreak, what are we going to do? How, like, what animal models are we going to use in order to update the vaccine? You ever think about that? What if the pertussis outbreak causes some type of mutation that's outside of the vaccine, and then we'd have to develop a second vaccine? What animal models would we have to do there? Regardless of what happens, Thompson says government agencies need to put more thought into what they would do with lab monkeys once studies end. In addition to the CDC and FDA, NIH oversees 7,000 non-human primates, so a lot is at stake, she says. We have the responsibility to take care of these animals. That should be included in any roadmap, Thompson says, because I don't think this will stop the CDC. Pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing. Miss Cake, how's it going? Hello.
Hello. I always like to mention when we start talking about animal testing and virology,
Mm-hmm.
all our meat sources, dairy sources, our pets, and every zoo animal and every animal we're trying to conserve out in the wild also benefit from what we learn about viruses.
Yeah.
So while it seems really, really awful to imagine testing on primates, which I got to tell you, it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good, but at the same time, primates have transferred deadly viruses to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like other primates, because we are primates. Humans are primates.
Exactly. I mean, if we want to to do basically the goal is like, okay, so do you guys want less safe medicine then? That has to be the thing, right? If it's okay for people to have less safe medicine and we're kind of wheeling and dealing out here and we'll figure that out and we'll just kind of wing it on medicine now. I mean, is that what people want? Because at the same time, the RFK is saying, oh, we have this gold standard science that is impossibly hard and rigorous to meet. So for some reason, his ideas never get held to this accountability factor that he puts his own alternative medicine or facts and realities to, and then he disables research that would be good science in
that
actual
is
medicine.
Actually the gold standard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
he's looking. I think that RFK is confused because of the brainworm. He thinks that he's looking at gold standard research, and what he's really looking at is mold standard research. That it's moldy, that the paper's all moldy, the data is rotten.
Exactly. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Like look, I think that your point was completely correct in that. Like we have to think about these animals that are being sacrificed, and they are giving up something, and we need to think about that. I don't trust these people to usher in this next like action and say what the actual goal of gold standard is.
I don't trust RFK to properly disinfect his hands after he took a crap. I mean, none of his statements on science are gonna. I'm just like, just please put a sock in it already. Please,
I haven't heard him do a single reputable study one time and reference it and
Yeah.
actually use it specifically and to actually make a coherent like argument a single time. Um, I don't think. Do you think that the pandemic will happen more often? Well, Ruben, yeah, we will have more local outbreaks. So there's going to be epidemics, more commonly epidemics, absolutely. So, like for example, in Texas right now, or in Canada in 2024, there was huge epidemics or outbreaks of measles. So yeah, you're going to have more. There's a pertussis rise that's happening right now. There's a ton of these diseases that are popping up now as people become more unvaccinated. So you're having people. You're not okay with someone spitting in your face, so you shouldn't be okay with someone spitting pertussis or measles at you. You know, like that. This should be revolting, just like how it is revolting for you to have someone spit in your face in the morning. That is not how. That's assault, and yet someone can spit, a potentially deadly virus in your face, and a lot of people in this country say, well, they have the right, they have the liberty and the freedom in order to spit their viruses on you. And I think that that's nonsense, and I think that's wrong. I think that we have to rethink of how we think about unvaccinated people and how dangerous they are, and how much they are actually endangering us as a public, as a nation. It's insane.
Well, and let's talk about um, how things are in modern times versus how they were just 100, 110 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
HIV was not really recognized on the continent of the United States really
mhm,
until the early 1980s. We know that that means that people were being infected in the 70s, but a lot of people don't really have any idea actually how far back it goes and how much it is the trappings of modern life that make every kind of pandemic more likely, and it more important that we do have international research and international consensus
mhm,
on pandemic response,
mhm,
because HIV, which comes directly from simians,
mhm,
um, probably got into the human population about 1912. And the reason that it stayed on the continent of Africa so long is because we had, through several natural and artificial means, had contained that contagion, largely because people of the continent did not travel off of the continent all that often,
hmm,
largely due to financial and infrastructure things, but also, what we did with the mass prison labor camps of the Congo is that probably people had died in the millions of HIV. They actually just called it SLIM
hmm,
in Africa. Before we even had the term GRID in the United States, they had this disease that they just called SLIM. And um, we have countless millions of people probably died in Africa before we even bothered to pay attention to why
hmm.
is this happening?
Interesting.
And that's like a total geopolitical thing um about our colonialism, is that we just didn't even really care when it wasn't affecting us. But now all of a sudden, and literally everything about Ebola and HIV and
Hmm.
what we learned from these two things has informed so much of what we know about viruses,
Yeah,
about what we know, about developing more vaccines. Probably tons of the money that was poured into AIDS research actually funds mRNA
exactly,
technological development. And it does that. It doesn't just do it in the US, it does it all over the world. There's
exactly.
universities everywhere trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It was basically kind of like the space race for a lot of this stuff, where you have a lot of ancillary. fields getting bolstered and helped by the extra money, you know. And it's true, like just kind of in the way that you know, we had projects related to the pandemic in the lab that I was doing my PhD, and we were working on necessarily RNA vaccines before, but then that money came about, and we are like, oh, maybe we could use that to, you know, get a grant that then we could buy instruments with, right? That could fund other research and fund other goals. And
Right.
then we're like, we're using that money to get another postdoc in or hire another people, more people in the lab,
Mm-hmm.
so that then they can like be more interested in like, hey, check this out or what this is. So, you know, it has a very,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just injecting that money is a huge thing. And it's you know,
And a lot of my early, I mean, besides being a Planned Parenthood peer educator, I also did a lot of work in the 90s in fundraising and um, delivering of grants to actual researchers, like
oh, cool.
literally the actual labs
Mm-hmm.
where they're doing the stuff. And I was very fortunate to be exposed to that and to understand even how some of that grant process works. Not too many people who don't work in a lab really understand
Yeah.
about a process at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Um, and don't understand like how many different industries and how many different disciplines within biology or within a particular science can come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the 90s we were recognizing that there was a virus to cancer correlation,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to figure out what to do about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a lot of the same people that unfortunately, I mean, RFK hangs out with those whole like HIV is fake kind of people. You know, it's insane.
Yeah,
You know, where so
yeah, and
and
it's really sad because
it's wild.
even Reagan figured out that diseases needed to be researched at a certain point. He did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
why is it so? I mean, why is it so obvious that you know that it is HIV, guys? If you ever think about it, I mean, the reason why AIDS patients have stopped existing, right, is because there was development of drugs that stymied the replications of HIV within a person, right? It's so good at blocking the reproduction of that virus, which has endogenous. It's a retrovirus, right? So it goes
mhm.
into someone's genome, and then a lot of the medicine is to stop that reproduction, right? It's to stop it from basically flowering, right? It has the seed already in your genome, and it basically every time it gets watered, it flowers up and then it spreads and all that kind of stuff. So the idea is to stop the flowering event. So then it kind of just lays dormant, and that's why people can be HIV like negative and non-detectable viral load. That's what that is, right? The virus isn't replicating inside of them. So the reason why there's no AIDS patients anymore is because we've effectively neutralized the virus. So if AIDS didn't come from HIV, then why did AIDS go away when we stopped the virus? Do you know what I mean? It's pretty. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Kathleen. That your friend passed away because of HIV/AIDS in '97. I'm so sorry. It's a gigantic pandemic, guys. That we don't like don't really talk about enough. I mean, list of pandemics. We read this, and I think it's the fifth largest one in the world. Um, it's very very it's a yeah. Oh no, it's number two. I'm sorry. We have 44 million as of from 1981 to world to present, which HIV is still in a pandemic. So it's the second largest pandemic of all time. HIV/AIDS. So it's not just yeah, guys. This isn't
Well,
like something in the
you know,
past. This is something
HIV
that
is
happened.
not only an STD. In fact, I don't think there's any STD that is only an STD.
Hmm. Yeah, the plague of Justinian. It's the bubonic plague in 541 that that's the number one. 15 to 100 million, which is 25 to 60% of the European population. So that was pretty gnarly. Yeah, we
And
went through and read.
What time period
Um,
was that?
550, 541 to 550. So like 10 years.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, there's been actually several bubonic plagues. There's been
Oh,
three
yeah.
major ones. So in 500, and then in 1300, and then in 1850 to 1960. So yeah, it's interesting.
I still have trouble saying bubonic without laughing a little. I'm still kind of 13 in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, it's just the weird coincidence of my life that my dad was in spectroscopy and developed biomedical technologies for
Mhm.
sequencing DNA,
Mhm.
and that I sort of just developed this interest. And then I was interested in the biology of HIV and
Mhm.
viruses. And I
Oh,
just
cool.
follow this stuff because I'm a dork.
Yeah.
Because I'm a dork, and I would rather follow this than, like, I could know every detail about all of the survivors
Uh-huh.
cast, but I would rather know this stuff.
Yeah. No, whatever
You know what
you
I mean?
yeah, whatever you're interested in, I think that's the biggest thing.
I think, it just, to me, it's more interesting and it matters more in the world. But
Mhm.
whatever
Yeah.
floats your boat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't, I'm not, I don't have an advanced degree in science. I don't have an advanced tech degree.
Mhm.
I've done a lot of science journalism and tech writing, but that's like my real qualification in that. Other than I'm interested. And
Mhm.
it's easy to be interested,
Yeah.
but it is so easy to be interested and just only catch nonsense. I
Yeah.
was just in another live before this, and I'm going to shut up after this.
Mhm.
I was just in another live before this, and they love talking about science, and frequently they are right on about everything
Yeah.
related to astronomy, physics. They're great, but then
Mhm.
they start talking about COVID-19, and out come all the conspiracies, and I'm like, no,
Invite them in.
no.
Invite them in.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I said I'm not talking to you anymore until you send me links to these articles you're talking about. I
Yeah.
said I'm not going to talk about your sources until I look at them, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to rip anything apart until I can actually rip it apart. But anyway, thanks a lot for what you do,
Yeah.
Greg, and
Thank
I'll
you.
let you go. But thanks to all your fans. Keep tapping, keep sharing, keep
Thank you, man.
make sure you reload your Franzia at least once a week. And
There you go. Exactly. Got to tap that bag. Got to tap that bag. Thanks, Miss Cakes. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming up. No way. Share. Let's go. 18 emails. I'm going to retool the emails actions, guys. Oh my gosh. Guess what? Share. You did it. Guys, this is a big moment, okay? Let's get all ready. Share. We hit the next hundreds in 3, 2, 1. Yes. Guys, that's amazing. Share made us hit 700 actions. Guys, that's by going to action.drgregshow.com. That's where we're fighting back this Maha nonsense, right? They are trying to pass this stuff in these state houses without us knowing. None of the media is covering it. Nobody else is paying attention to it. Then nobody other political parties are covering it, but they're trying to pass this stuff to take away our public health, and we have got to stop them. And that's what we are doing. We're trying to mobilize. We're trying to mobilize the calls and the email templates. So you can go to action.drgregshow.com, and that's where you can have, if you haven't been there, guys, just go there right now. Just alt tab or tab out, or just real quick, action.drgregshow.com, enter. And then as you can see on the left hand side, there's going to be some tabs there, and those are the bills that we're going for. And then on the right, that is what the bill is, what it is, who we're going to contact, and then the email template and the call template. So it's all there. And we're talking about bills that are trying to ban vaccine technologies. They're trying to ban quarantines. They're trying to ban contact tracing. So they're trying to ban the entire idea of epidemiology, just like how they're trying to ban disease research, right? Into the diseases of the vaccines that we are preventing. They are trying to ban the administration of vaccines in a pandemic for that pandemic. I mean, in what world? Can you send multiple emails from your same email? Yeah, user, you're gonna. So you wouldn't want to like just do rep comma rep comma rep comma. You know what I mean? All in the same email. You would want to do them individually if you can, just because it's less likely to get hit with spam. But honestly, any of them work. You know, whatever you want to do. I don't know, Gina. That's a really good question. Why? Um, it is wild. Exactly, aeronautical. To what end? I don't know. I don't get it. It's very odd to me. But do we send multiple to the same rep? Oh, it's just going to be one rep, one call or one email to each individual rep. So there's like 5 to 10 for each bill, and then just send individual emails, and then the phone number is to their to their office. All right, we got a call. Drone Demon. Welcome to
Hi,
the show.
mate. I just wanted to kind of come up quick and then drop.
Okay.
I've been invited by Miss Cake. I just wanted to just say, like, keep the good work you're doing, and
Cool. Thank you.
if there's nothing, you know, if there's anything else to say, I can discuss. I'm an engineer and a physicist. I was astronomer. I know all about mechanics. I can do all that.
Yeah.
IQ 143
Uh-huh.
near Einstein, but it's like if it's no issue, I'll drop straight away. If
Let's
you want
chill.
to get someone else up, it's fine.
No, I mean, I think that she was
Just
saying that about the pandemic specifically. I guess I was curious, like, what are your views on the pandemic?
right. Oh God, we're gonna rabbit hole now.
No, it's right. It's okay, man. I'm not trying to.
Right.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna. You know, we can have a conversation. We don't have to. You know, not have like a contentious discussion, like a debate or anything. I'm just like we can talk about it. You know,
Right. Okay. So just before you can drop me straight away. It's
I'm not
fair
gonna
enough,
drop
but
you.
we
It's I
will.
want to talk to you.
No, it's fine. If someone else wants to come, you can drop me. But I'll just say, right, we'll get into it now. Okay. Okay. So Fauci and Bill Gates had shares in the Wuhan lab.
So indirectly, the Eco Health Alliance, is that what you're talking about with Peter Daszak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it's the preeminent coronavirus institute in the world. So you'd kind of hope that there was some flowing of funds into there, right? Because we want that
Yep.
place to be, well stocked with good PPE, and it's doing good research, so that we wanted it to, have some relation with us. So if something did go bad, we could have a relationship there and have kind of like diplomacy, right?
Yes, but the problem is so with our kind of say our C19 like kind of equivalent labs, we
Mm-hmm.
have 4 different filters. They have a lot lower micron. Like remember, I'm an engineer and a physicist, so I know about shit. Do you get me? Um, they didn't. They went to change it, and then it got out. And then some guy went from one country to another country, and the next thing, or was it by design?
No, I mean, there's no molecular forensics that show that it was like inside of a lab. So and if that was the case, then the epicenter for the disease, SARS-CoV-2 would be at the lab, and it's not. It's actually at the Wuhan seafood market.
Well, possible. I'm not saying it's true.
Hmm.
I'm all about hypotheses and
Hmm.
theories and facts and everything like that.
Yeah.
I just always like I have a online persona, and I like to throw just frag bombs in there and go,
Okay.
let's discuss this.
there's just no scientific evidence to show that lab leak was correct. There's not been a single paper, a single piece of evidence that showed that it
Right.
was for deliberately
Yeah,
from the
but
lab
the
leak.
problem is, yeah, well, the problem is like, look at Hillary Clinton. She deleted 50,000 emails.
Uh-huh.
So, did they delete all their documents?
Even
Did
if
they
they
delete
did,
all their drives?
so let's say that they did, right? Like, does Galileo or Copernicus's lab notebook and how he kept track of what he was saying that changed the actual fact of the matter that the world isn't flat? You know what I mean? Like, there are independent roads to figure out what's going on so that we don't rely on emails. So I don't even think about the emails, man, and I think that that's kind of like a dead end because a lot of
Right.
scientists are hypercritical of their own work. And like, I mean, if you looked at my emails of my PhD work and my publications, I would be like, they're all like, this is awful, this is an awful study, I would never publish this anywhere, this isn't showing anything. But the whole point of science is that you take that criticism and then you do the researching through the data and try to skeptically prove yourself wrong. I mean, that is what good
Yes,
science is all
yes,
about.
right, okay, right, okay. I was going to hit you on that real quick. So,
Hmm.
okay, your name's Dr. Greg. A lot
Yeah.
of flat earthers and everything I deal with, they call themselves doctors and they don't actually have a doctorate. I'm M.Eng and B. Phys. So, you're a doctorate, so you're above me. What is your actual field? Just so I know, so
Yeah.
I can like kind of work out where you're at.
I'm a doctor of science. I'm a microbiology PhD.
Okay, so you're a biologist. Okay,
Correct.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about that. I'm not going to lie. I'm applied physics rather than biology, but
Okay. Cool.
um, I still respect. I still respect your field.
Thank you.
Like I'm not gonna. It's like with me when I was like trying to learn like biology
Mhm.
or chemistry. I could do it, and I can do it, but it's like applied physics and mechanics and the math behind like pure shit statistics, boring, mechanics, and
Mhm.
obviously the engineering that comes from that.
Yeah.
I was fucking brilliant at it. But
Nice.
you give me pure maths to do and go, oh, there's this logarithm. Oh, right, sin cos tan. Hey, what the fuck's that? Fuck off. I mean, I could do it, but I was just fucking shit.
Hmm.
Biology, I could do it, but like mitosis
Yeah.
and like all of the, well, I don't need to get into it because you already know it. But I was just like, I was like, nah, fuck this physics.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean that. I mean, honestly, a lot of the genetics that's done in order to track these coronaviruses is more about like engineering than anything. I mean, we're talking about the alignment and synthesizing and arranging all of these nucleotides so that they all match up and trying to figure out which piece of DNA belongs to what. And it's using a lot of computer science, and that's kind of like where next generation sequencing came about in about 2010. 2010 is really when it revolutionized microbiology,
Right.
and that's where like the microbiome came from in our gut, and that's why plants have microbiomes now. We understand that, and then also it revolutionized how we understand viruses and bacteria and yeast and stuff like that. So now we basically track these viruses in these bat caves and these coronaviruses, and then we can track the entire population at once. So we can see that they basically have the building blocks inside of these populations of viruses inside these bat caves. And then on top of that, that matches the sequencing we found at the Huanan seafood market. So they took stall by stall evidence and then they sampled it, and then did that DNA sequencing analysis. And then they aligned all the nucleotides up and they all matched. And then on top of that, then they looked at the ones that are outside the Huanan seafood market where all the positive cases were, and it all aligns that the Huanan seafood market is the target. It's this epicenter, and then it radiates out from there.
Well, yeah. Well, now you land your plane. Yeah. Right. I have been to China. I have been to South Korea. I've not been to North Korea, obviously, because well, he wants to fucking go there, apart from
Hmm.
Donald Trump. Um, it was quite a ballsy thing to do for him, actually, but he did it like a champion. But anyway, that's a different political thing, and I don't want to get into that. This is about STEM. so that's fine.
That's okay, dude. We talk about politics here too. I totally get it. It's all right. Science is political. I get it.
Yeah, but I just want to say, it's like if you go to, I just want to ask the difference. Yeah. Okay. So, in are you? Can I just clarify? Are you American?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Which state are you from?
California.
Because I work for an American company, so I'm just wondering, because I've spent a lot of time in America.
California. I live in California.
Okay, so you Kelly. Okay, that's fine. Okay. It was just FYI. That was just all I
That's
was
okay.
wondering. Just
Yeah.
for now. So it's like, so you're a biologist. So we'll look into eggs. So we'll keep it simple for the start. We will deep dive. I'm not a biologist. I'm a mechanical engineer and a
Okay.
physicist, and an orbital, like I'm astronomy and all that kind of weird physics shit. So do you know why we don't refrigerate our eggs?
Isn't it like some like membrane like washing thing or something? I don't know.
Because we have better growing like concerns, and we don't need to refrigerate them.
Okay.
Next thing,
What?
okay.
I'm confused how
I'm
that
gonna.
was talking about lab leak or were you making a connection there or I'm sorry.
Well, I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
land my
Okay.
plane right.
Okay, go for it.
Right. Okay. So Bill Gates. Okay. So
Okay.
Bill Gates is buying up farmland and water reserves. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Which is true, and he's started now trying to do it in the UK, and we're all like having massive protests and going get effed. And but what I want to say is, okay, so imagine when Bill Gates buys up all of the farmland and then all of a sudden turns it off. You
Okay.
gonna have any food?
Okay. I, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna buy up every single farmland, but that would definitely impact the cost of food.
Yeah.
Skyrocket.
So
Okay.
he's already monopolized Microsoft.
Okay.
He's already he's already monopolized a few other companies. A
Uh-huh.
lot like Elon Musk, but I do actually like Elon Musk. I hate Bill Gates. But
Okay.
imagine, okay, so you've got a tap, it creates water. You've got corn, you've got food, and then all of a sudden Bill Gates goes in a business meeting and goes, turn it off. What you gonna do?
Okay.
I've landed my plane now. I just wanted your like. I think that is like Elon Musk don't care. He just wants
Yeah.
to get to Mars. He's created Tesla. He's done this. He's done that.
Yeah.
Boring company. Like Neuralink. Like he's trying to help people. He needs electric cars because he needs to get to Mars, and obviously there's no oxygen on Mars. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Bill Gates, he ain't doing that. He has said he has actively said we need to reduce the size of the population on Earth. What do you?
No, he didn't say that. I looked at this. There was the speech that he said, and no, he was talking about the amount of carbon that he was had. It was like in the TED Talk 15 years ago. I watched it. It's they're not talking about that.
Well, I really hope not, but
Yeah.
I also worry about not. I don't
But
worry for
but
me. I
but
worry
why?
for
Okay, so I don't understand like the ability to know that the virus came from Wuhan and all of the science and independent analyses that came from that. I mean that would have to, in order to keep that under wraps, that would have to be scientists all around the world conspiring in order to do this. You know, I mean the conspiracy would have to be gigantic.
Well, I will say, I had a letter in Britain which basically I didn't have any restrictions. I could go wherever I wanted, 24 hours a day, 365.
Mhm.
Um, but other people, yes, they was locked down. They couldn't leave their house. It was really like fines and all
No, that
sorts.
was during the lockdowns, but I mean, one, the United States never really locked down, and I don't think like Britain did too. I think that there was like an awful. You guys did just as poorly as we did. It was like 200th in the world for deaths per capita. We both did really poorly in it in the pandemic. But again, though, like I mean, this is like dozens of papers that we're talking about, like the origins of SARS-CoV-2 and the zoonotic spillover event that's happened dozens of other times. That we have tons of evidence for that. I mean, I still don't understand why people think that lab leak is real.
Well, if I can just ask you,
Hmm.
as you're a biologist, I'm a mechanical engineer and a B phys.
Hmm.
So I'm one of them. Like I'm an engineer and like a scientist as well.
Okay,
So if I don't know, I will just admit it and go, I don't know. Okay. So what do you think about gain function?
I think it's good. I do gain into
Mm,
function research. I'm a molecular biologist. That's what I do.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like,
'Cause
well, I mean, there's the colloquial definition of like gain of function research, and then there's like what they're doing in one in research, which was both really important. So, like, the algae that we created in order to kill cancer cells, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 1, like those algae cells now gained that function in order to do that, right? So there's no natural occurring algae out there that has the ability to kill cancer, but we made one that was from transgenic means, right? We put that DNA into that organism and made a new organism that had that function. Um, Specifically, what they're doing in the Huanan research market is basically trying to see what mutations in a viral genome give a specific phenotype. So an ability to jump to a new protein of interest or something like that. So that would be, figuring
right,
out how this specific amino acid change confers that change. And then what they do is, back to what we were talking about before with the population genetics, they monitor the population of those coronaviruses to make sure that they don't have those mutations. So it's crucial for environmental monitoring that we do gain of function research.
right, okay. So thank you for that. And again, I'm not a biologist. I'm a mechanical engineer and physicist, so
Mhm.
I'm complete opposite side of the field. So
No,
I
all good.
do know a little bit because I've been to uni. I'm double major, masters, and everything like that. Like, but I am completely putting myself to you and saying, do you think CRISPR is actually going to work out?
It has.
Like, I
It's
know it has
incredible.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it has worked out. I know it has worked out, but I'm talking long term.
Hmm.
Do you think there's going to be another one like after that? Like, say, I don't. Like, I know we've just created like kind of hybrid wolves again from dogs and things like that.
Yeah.
But do you think we could do it to ourselves, or is it? I know it's illegal at the moment, but
No, it's not.
like,
I mean, the people are doing zygotes, like human zygotes. We're doing genetically modified humans now, like single
I
point.
was
Yeah, yeah, single point mutations in like a human zygote because I mean some of the diseases are single point mutations that confer like a disease that is like a huge negative quality of life. So you have like a huge impetus in science in order to try to cure those mutations. And when human zygotes in a small amount, like a really small amount of cells, basically you change those cells, and then it has a huge impact on it. Yeah, we're doing that in the United States right now in research.
yeah. So currently, well, it's not illegal in the UK at the moment, but it's a little bit of a pseudo kind of like it's a bit. I mean, it's like gene therapy and things
Hmm.
like that. I want it because it's like, well, you
Nice.
got your kid and you want it to have green eyes, give it green eyes. Or you want it to be very clever, change its genes to do that using CRISPR. But we can't because it's illegal.
I mean, that's no,
So
that's so
it's
that's a different thing. So there's like positive eugenics and negative eugenics. So the negative eugenics is like removing disease, removing, an ability that is a misfolded protein that's going to have a huge detriment onto someone's life. And then positive eugenics is kind of like making people smarter or something like that. And that's the weird part about genetically modifying like humans. I don't think I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be okay with that.
I know it's a little bit, yeah, yeah. Just to quickly compound what you've just said,
Uh-huh.
I know it's a little bit out there, but like I have an IQ of 140. Like I'm
Okay.
nearly Einstein level. Okay,
Okay.
so
I'm like half of that. So thank you for talking to me.
no, it's fine. No, you're not. You're very clever. We're just on different fields of engineering, and
Okay.
that's.
All right.
I know you're clever, bro, because I was subtly asking you questions to see if where you was.
Okay. Roger, I'm here.
Yeah. So anyway, I was subtly asking you questions to work out where you was, and I can work out people in like 5 seconds. So I'm going to send you a few likes as well.
Thanks, brother.
But I was just like, we're just on two different fields, and I
Mhm.
hate biology. Like,
Okay.
I can't do it. Like, I can do it a bit, but I'm not great at it. And obviously, you're a specialist at it. So I'm one of them where if I don't know, I don't know. And I'll ask, like, one of you guys.
Mhm.
So, next thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm guessing you've watched the film Gattaca.
Is that yeah? That's the one with like the, um, I forget. It remind me the plot. I have been. It's been a while.
He basically met a guy, pretended he was him, then went to space,
Okay.
and then they kind of worked out that right at the end he was like faking it, and then they just let him on anyway.
Okay.
But I thought that was quite because like he was like he had like mental health issues, he has
Mhm.
health issues, he had this, he had that, and they changed his genes to change him into the guy that was supposed to go to space.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they're like changing the Gattaca is like that is they use the ACTs and Gs to make like a word. I forget
Yeah,
when people. Okay.
yeah. So I just thought that film. It's like
Uh huh.
even though I'm not like a biologist or anything like that
Yeah.
or a geneticist, I just found it quite like so. Say you was in a world, right? And
Uh-huh.
again, I always have thought provoking like processes in my brain because that's just how I work. Okay, so you're like a mal IQ, like negative. I know you can't get a negative IQ, but I use that as a joke.
Okay.
Say you're like 40 IQ
Okay.
and you want to go to space, and then the
Mhm.
next thing it's like, right, I want to go to space, and then this guy goes, oh, do you want my genes?
Mhm.
And then he ends up going to space,
Yeah.
and I think that's quite. And it's like also as well, it's um, it makes me wonder if I can just Dr. Grove and
Yeah.
just put another thing out there.
Go for it, brother.
What do you think may happen in like I'm talking like 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Like what like do you think we're gonna like even now like if like say if like a mother and a father have two brown eyes,
Mhm.
you could use CRISPR now and change them green.
I don't know if
Okay, so
they know the exact genes that are responsible for eye color, but let's just say that you're correct.
well,
Okay.
no,
I
yes,
got you. Okay.
yeah, they don't know the exact gene just
Mhm.
yet,
Yeah.
but
But theoretically,
it'll
let's just
get
say that they are. Yeah.
yeah. Say if they did,
Uh-huh.
just I always put out like theoreticals, well hypotheses. So like imagine like say again, don't take this the wrong way. I know I always put out really like crazy shit.
You're okay.
Say you effed your wife and you put a baby in her, and
I
then
would
we went,
never.
oh,
Just kidding. Just kidding. Go.
no, no.
Go.
I'm British, so
Okay.
we are quite like straight, if you get me. There's no diss.
Okay.
Right, okay. So say you know, you pew-pewed her and then she got pregnant and then it was like, oh, we don't want our baby to have brown eyes, so what
Yeah.
we're gonna do? Oh, we'll go to CRISPR. Or is there something that is on the horizon over CRISPR? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a biologist. I'm a physicist. Like I
Yeah.
do like astronomy and orbital mechanics and mechanics and so I don't this is why I'm asking the question, like, is there something if two parents went, right, okay, we don't want our baby to look like us, could you what's it called, intro what's the I don't know
IVF.
the name of. Yeah. Could you change the DNA of the fetus to be green-eyed and blonde if both of us were black-haired and brown-eyed? Or black,
I think,
say,
I
for
think
instance.
theoretically in the future, within, because your question was within the next like 20, 30, 50 years, like a maybe. I mean, these are the kind of the designer baby theoreticals that people you impose, the idea that you could like go on a shopping list and kind of design your own baby in the future. Um, it's really about, I mean, if it was super safe, and people that science was kind of figured out and theoretically, I guess it would be really weird for me. But I guess I have a hard time seeing like the big problem and negative with it. I wouldn't be okay with it though, like just because um, it just feels weird. I thought like when I had kids, the best
It's
part was kind of
weird.
just like a random kind of
Yeah,
like event.
I
I
know.
thought it was
I
fun.
know. Yeah, right. Okay. People, sometimes Americans or Canadians, however you're from, I don't know where you're from, bro, because I've just joined you, but
Hmm.
sometimes they misunderstand my thoughts kind
Yeah.
of experiments. I'm not putting out like anything racist,
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing.
No. No. I mean, but what
Like
about
I'm
like
just putting out.
removing disease? Would you be okay with removing disease from a child?
Well, I have three. I have three different countries and three different genetics where I'm from, and I
Hmm.
rarely get ill, and I think that's a good thing.
No, no, no. I mean,
I
like there's like specific like PKU, for example, is like PKU's. You have that, and it's like your entire quality of life for the rest of your life is detrimental, and you have it's just a single point mutation, so it's super super easy to edit out, and the idea being that that person's quality of life is just going to be better when they're not living with that disease.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, I'm French, Italian, and British, and by British that means I'm probably another fucking God knows how many other like countries because of
Hmm.
the empire. But
Yeah.
like, I rarely get ill. But when I do get ill, I get over it really quick. And I think like if you was one single like genetic line, you'd maybe like I've come close to KIA quite a few times, but I've just gone like boom, 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 back, F you, like today's not a good day to die. Do you get me?
Okay. Yeah. But I
So,
mean,
but if it was somebody else, but it was completely French or completely Italian with one only, and I'm talking about genetic diversity
hmm,
here. Okay, so you'll know about genetic diversity.
sure,
Okay, so I believe that my genetic diversity gives me an advantage.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I know it's crazy. I know like I know it's crazy,
No,
but
it's not. I mean, it's called hybrid vigor. There's a biological term for it, hybrid vigor, when like two. You know, even two different
Hang on a minute.
species.
Hang on a minute. 1 minute, bro. Hang on a minute, bro. What's that?
Mhm.
What's the actual term? Just so I know, because I'm not a biologist.
Hybrid vigor, hybrid,
Hybrid vigor.
and then
Yeah, I
start with
remember that.
vigor. Yeah, yeah, it happens. Like, I mean, when you have like grizzly bears and polar bears mating for the first time, you know, basically the idea is that our genetic code has missing pages in it, and that's just because of, you know, within a population, mutations accumulate over time. So you're not able to kind of like clear those mutations, or you don't figure out the half of your page is missing on, you know, building the windshield wipers when you didn't know that there was a second windshield wiper, you know. So you know that's the idea. Yeah, so but
Yeah, no. I get I, I get the principle. Just
uh-huh.
because it's not my speciality, I don't know the term. There is like evidence of like black bears and brown bears because of the chromosomes and things.
Yeah,
They can procreate and
yeah,
everything like that. Polar bears can. You know, it's just one of them. But it's like if I wanted to pew like a bear, it'd never happen because we don't have the same chromosomes, so it'd never happen. That's biology. Like, I'm not saying I would, and I don't want to. I'm just using it as
yeah,
an example.
yeah. I mean, species, can, different species can procreate. I mean, that is a thing that is possible. I mean,
Yeah. What else can we?
we are hybrids. We are hybrids of Denisovans and Neanderthals. I mean, that's what humans are.
Oh God, do you want to get down that rabbit hole, bro?
Yeah,
Because we
dude, that's
can. If you
genetics. You don't believe it? You don't think that that's real?
No, I do. That's what I'm saying. But I don't want to like take over your panel if you want to get some like flat earthers up or something like science deniers or something. I don't want to
What?
take over your panel. Like,
What do
if
you
I'm
mean?
monologuing, just
Why? Because what do you
drop me a
mean?
minute.
What are you talking about with Denisovans and Neanderthals? I mean, you don't think that happened?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
it definitely did. There was about 4 different species, unfortunately,
Oh,
for
more than
them.
that. Like a dozen hominids all lived at the same time on Earth. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, yeah. We're about two like 1 to 3% of our DNA is Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, yeah. We literally like fuck them and then fuck them again and outbred them, and that was that.
It's probably the other way because Neanderthals were way bigger than us. So, um, yeah.
Well. Do you know what it was? Do you know
Hmm.
what it was? It's like I'm 6'3". My hands are massive.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I've got opposable thumbs, and I think that's why we had the advantage. It's
Yeah.
natural selection.
Oh, it's our cooperation. Yeah, our humans, Homo sapiens, our cooperation to be able to come together. Yeah, I think so. I think
Well,
that's.
it's like look at me, right? Look at me, right? All
Mhm.
right, oh, right, okay. I've got another tip. Right, I've got another topic now. Sorry, I'm just going to move on to this.
Sure,
Right, okay. So I'm colorblind for red and green. Okay,
Roger.
my family going back hundreds of years, and we do have. I am a lord. I have history going back centuries, literally. Okay,
Nice.
until it like before it was recorded.
Hmm.
Okay, so I can't see apparently red and green, even though if you like hid red and green behind your back and went, "Oh, what colour's that?" I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
still know that was red and that was green. I
Hmm.
just can't see the dots. Okay, again, that's another thing with biology. Fuck knows why I can't see the dots, but I can see the colours. Fuck knows. Okay, but the reason why
Hmm.
they think it's only in the men is because in like caveman days, the men used to go out at night, and because of the cylinders and the cones,
Hmm.
so cones can see color, cylinders or rods, what you may call it in the US,
Hmm.
can see light.
Yeah.
I could see better at night.
Okay.
So I could hunt better. I brought more stuff back to the cave for my child and my wife.
Okay.
That's another kind of theory that's like kind of like
Okay.
I just want to know your thoughts on it, because like that's what I've always been told, and that's what doctors have told me, and it's a bit like, well, it kind of makes sense, to be fair. If an evolutional, like like one guy would have had a random mutation in the womb, and then it would have gave them
Evolutionary
advantage.
advantage of red green color blindness. Let's see. Statistical and molecular analysis of an evolutionary significance of red green colorblind and colorblindness in vertebrates. 29. Oh, this is a 236er. The molecular genetics of the evolution of red green colorblind and vision. The evolutionary and genetic drives. Yeah, let's do this one. And oh, here we go. Evolution and physiology of human color vision. Insights from molecular genetic studies of visual
Yes,
pigments.
that one up. Click that link up.
Okay, let's see.
That's what I've been told. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that's what I've always been told. I'm not a biologist, so I don't know. But
This is just looking at the different pigments and the different mutations that are causing that. So this is just
I have green, blue, and yellow eyes as well, which is also a factor. That does come part and parcel with like that. I'm not going to say an illness, but that mutation.
I mean, there's definitely the ability for some like insects to see in different areas that we can't see. I don't know if like
Yeah,
you, yeah.
I'm just saying it's interesting, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, they're theoretically maybe, if that is true, that could, exist in the population for sure.
Yeah, I just find it's like okay. So with my
Mhm.
ex-wife, okay, I'd be
Mhm.
sat in a room watching television, and she'd be like, "I can't see anything. Can we turn the light on?" I'm like, "What do you mean you can't see anything?"
Yeah.
And I can see it, and she's like, "I can't see the room." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't see the room?" Like,
Would you be okay
and
with someone saying that they change their genetics around so that they could have better night vision, like you?
well, it's just a mutation. I don't really care. Like
Mhm.
people are well, mutations are mutate. I mean, that's natural selection. It's a random. So again, I'm just going to agree with you. Okay, so the random mutation is the random mutation. There's a random mutation, and it either benefits you or it disadvantages you. Okay, and then that gives you a better reproduction rate. And that is natural selection. That is Darwin. I am not going to deny Darwin at all.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
right.
yeah, just think about the evolution as the population of organisms are evolving together. It's not like an individual mutation, and an individual
Yeah,
organism.
there's
It's
also
yeah,
that put into the There's also that put into the mix as well. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I do
yeah.
agree. What do you think about? I was going to say I've lost my train of thought. Oh fucking hell, I've lost it. Um, right. Okay. So what
Evolution,
do you?
population. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, no, it's off that subject, and I don't want to like glaze it on. Um, right, okay. So biology. So let's talk about mitosis.
Okay.
Go.
What about it? What do you want to know? What's the idea?
Well, just define it to me as a macro engineer physicist that doesn't really fucking understand like micro.
The ability without sexual reproduction to reproduce yourself as a cell. I think that would be the mitosis definition.
Yeah, you are right, and I did try and trip you up
Process
there.
of cell
So
division in eukaryotic cells when a single cell divides into two genetically identical cells.
yeah, yeah, you are right there. Okay, so say we've got a double helix. okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then it splits. Right, right. I want to talk about this. 'Cause I'm quite interested, and you know a lot more about me than this.
Okay.
Um, okay, so aging is the split of the double helix, and eventually the it begins with C. What's it called? The
Telomere.
chromin telomeres.
Well,
That's
you're
it.
talking
Yeah,
about the
that's
telomeres is like the ends of the telomeres. There's like a link to aging. I think that's our current
yeah. And they
hypothesis.
get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and that's why you age,
Sure.
right? Okay, but why?
I have no idea. No idea.
No one does. That's the thing.
I'm sure
That's
someone
the
has an idea. I don't know it. Just because I don't know it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I'm sure that there's some type of hypothesis.
right. Okay, okay. I'm gonna land my plane. Okay.
Okay.
I was leading you into this because you know
Oh,
more
we do
about
know,
this than
Amy?
me.
Okay, the cell replication stops because of the shortening of the telomeres. Cell senescence happens after there. Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's where I was going to get at.
Okay.
You know more than me about this. I'm mechanical, steel, petrochemical, like physicist and all this, but
Sure.
I'm not a biologist. So, okay. So imagine the telomeres. If we could stop them from shortening, could we live forever?
I think that was like Amy, correct me. I think that is an avenue of research or something trying to look at that. So I think that is something that people are looking at. I honestly I feel like humans are kind of boring to study, but I'm a little weird on that one because I'm a microbe guy. So I think like microbes and genetically changing their entire pathways and making new strains and making like hundreds of different types of different microbes for different reasons with different mutations and kind of see where those mutations change and the amount that we have to do for humans is impossible, especially in terms of we're ending primate testing in the United States, so um, it's hard for us to do any type of scientific research on vertebrates, that is but millions of people big, which is the sample size that I work with, right? I mean, as a microbiologist, I'm used to working with hundreds of millions of my subjects, and you never do that with humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, and sometimes I forget, bro, because I know a little bit about everything, but obviously my specialty is like what I do.
Hmm.
And sometimes if I say, "Oh, what's that?" It's not because I'm stupid. I just don't
Yeah,
want to give false information. But
yeah. No, no, I
uh,
totally agree. I say I don't know all the time too. Not knowing is completely that should be the
yeah,
normal
it's a sign
stage,
of
right?
intelligence. Yeah, it's a sign of intelligence. If you don't know, you don't know. So shut your mouth and let someone tell you. I completely get it, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm in STEM as well, bro. So I get
Nice.
it. I'm just not in biology. I hate biology.
Nobody's
Like
perfect. I won't
I
hold it
like
against you. You know.
no, well, I like pivoting to it
Uh huh.
just as a little bit of a thing, but like I'm not that, bro. I'm space science and all that crap. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so say let's get back to biology. So
Okay.
bearing in mind, please forgive me if I say the wrong terms or whatever, because I'm not like whatever.
You're good.
But okay, so say the telomeres. Okay, we managed to make the double helix on the DNA and the telomeres not get shorter and shorter and shorter
Mm-hmm.
until the point that we KIA. Do you think we could live forever?
I mean, I think that the big thing for the singularity, the Ray Kurzweil the idea for the singularity isn't that we fix the telomere problem, it's that we upload our brains into a computer. So if our consciousness is just a ratio of neurotransmitters in our brains, and if we are a person because of material things that exist in the world, then maybe we could remap those ratios inside of our brains inside of a computer brain, and then therefore theoretically me as a person should exist inside of that 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 computer world. So I think that that would be the idea, that I kind of like I don't know if we're gonna ever be able to live forever in a biological body. I mean, that's so hard. It's so hard. But maybe, I mean,
Yeah, well,
theoretically,
you're
maybe.
getting into Neuralink. Yeah, you're getting into Neuralink now. You're getting
Yeah.
into Neuralink.
Neuralink is a little different, but yeah, but it's somewhat similar. But yeah, I mean, Ray
Yeah,
Kurzweil is
it's quite
outside.
well known. But yeah, you're getting into Optimus and all, like it's like Neuralink and Optimus connected, like and
Sure.
Austin Dynamics, like it's
Hmm.
all part and parcel. They're all gonna come together in the end and go, oh right, okay. So Elon Musk, right, I believe I like Elon Musk, don't get me wrong, but I think if you watch the Alien films,
Hmm.
okay, so that guy that actually owns it and runs it always wanted to live forever. So if you've watched the Prometheus film,
Yeah.
he went into thing and then came out of um like uh, like stasis,
Hmm.
and then went, oh, I'm gonna meet my maker, and then he got KIA'd, which it was quite a good film. I'm not gonna lie, but then it's the thought-provoking issue of, is Elon trying to do that? Why is he making Neuralink? Why would he need to do that? Why would like why would you need to make like a quadriplegic like like veteran
I
like
think, I
it
mean,
was
he's a narcissist, man. He wants to be, thinks that he's the best at everything, and that's why he wants $1 trillion. He thinks that there's no advancement without him involved, and he doesn't think that anything is possible without him personally doing it. So, I mean, he's not, honestly, Elon Musk isn't even, he bought Tesla. He didn't found Tesla. The contributions that he's made, like, is basically hiring really good scientists and engineers, around him, and then them doing the work to actually do the rocket design and car design. But somehow he takes advantage of it, takes credit for it. So I think that the things that he has done is, driven Twitter from a social media platform into just a hate mongering website with the psycho AI that's driving it, and I think that he's appreciably done like a lot of wrong, awful things in our society, man. I don't think that Elon Musk is someone that we should be revering at all.
yeah, I'm not saying he's good, and I'm not saying he's bad.
Yeah, I'm
I
saying he's
don't
bad.
look at,
I'm saying he's bad for sure.
uh, well, maybe, but
Hmm.
I'm not saying he's good or he's bad. I don't look at it like that. I look at like the advances,
But he hasn't made any advances. Like, what was he made?
PayPal.
PayPal? You don't think that we
Uh,
would have done electronic checking and like credit cards before?
no, just let me on a plane. Okay, so I got PayPal, Tesla, Boring Company, Neuralink, SpaceX. Like, okay, yes,
But okay, so what you're
he
seeing
isn't.
though, but what you're seeing is the power of hundreds of billions of dollars. It's not the power of Elon Musk. That's the difference. Is that you are
Well,
recognizing that, like, yes, with hundreds of billions of dollars, you can do a lot of things. And yes, absolutely, it's him. And exactly right. Bill's right. He's the number one contributor of slush funds and funds from the U.S. government trying to help him with those endeavors. So you have hundreds of billions of dollars. You have the full force of the U.S. government behind you, and it's like I don't think that it's specifically what he's doing that is making these huge jumps forward.
right, okay. So I just want to tell you one quick story, real quick.
Okay,
Okay, so
2 minutes.
Elon, when he went to Boca Chica, okay, he had a small team. He wanted to make Starship and Super Heavy, and he was like, right, he was on Boca Chica, right on the border of what's the river? The Can't remember what it's called on
Um,
Mexico.
Rio Grande.
And he went right, yeah, the Rio Grande. That's it. Yeah, yeah, the Rio. Well, in Spanish, it's the Rio Grande. Okay, but he said,
Uh-huh.
okay, there's going to be no interviews. Get all your friends, and they must be good because if they're not good, you're getting fired as well.
Yeah,
And that's how he built his team. And I thought that was quite. like pretty. Like I thought that was all right. I mean, I know it's a little bit strange, but at the end of the day, if we're gonna start breaking through and start like exploring the universe and doing
Mhm.
this, we don't need interviews. There ain't no time for like 2,000 applicants, like new hires
Yeah.
to interview and do all this crap. There ain't no time for that. It's Elon time.
I think it's really important to vet people, and especially at a high tech position like that. You know, it's really important to hire the right people and get people involved that know what they're talking about and that can actually do the work and that kind of thing. And the idea that you're just hiring people and firing people, um,
Yeah,
but
well, that's
I
what
don't
he
think that
said.
it's really discoherent, and it's a bad use of our taxpayer funds. But hey, man, I got a hard stop at 11 o'clock. But thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you. This was a good conversation. Anytime you want
Yeah,
to talk about biology,
I'll
you're
drop
always
anyway.
welcome to be here.
Yeah, no. I'll drop anyway, host. It's been a. I'll let you cook again.
Oh, thanks,
It's
brother.
been
Thank
a
you for
great.
joining. I appreciate the conversation.
No, it's been a great STEM chat, and I fucking love it. And I know you're a biologist, and I'm the other side, but it's been great.
There you
And
go.
I'll let you do what your life needs to do, and I know where you're at.
Thanks, brother.
Okay.
All right, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, guys. Thank you for Miss Cake for inviting him in, guys. I'm gonna start hard stopping at 11 o'clock, just because quality of life for myself, my family, um, and yeah, I think it's just better. I'm gonna go from 9:30 to 11 o'clock, and I'm just gonna hard end here. I know there's there's so many good conversations to have, and I could stand in here for 3 more hours, and I know that I could, but I need to advocate for myself and my own mental health and my sleep and everything like that. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Shout outs before we go. Thank you, everyone. Guys, thank you so much to the Patreons, Mrs. Dr. G, Ado, Call Me Ness. Thank you to the top gifters, NB Human, Kathleen, Bill, X Cult Girl, Ducray, Miss Cake, Renee, nay, 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 nay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for MB Human, for the top likers, MB Human, user 8007, Bare Necessity, Ducray, K-Bug, Helen, Ruben. Thank you, guys. Aeronautical, wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Drone. Thank you for being here, bro. You're always welcome to come up, and I love those conversations. And yeah, dude. NB is amazing. NB has been an awesome person in this community. I really appreciate them. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming in. That was a good show. We're gonna start. Check out, guys. Check out. All right, my Substack. Right. The goal is for my Substack right now. I thought, right. I thought that Substacks were just basically an email newsletter. All right, and I was wrong, guys. Substacks are amazing. It's based Substack. The best way I can describe it is a content creators social media program. So basically, the idea is that you can listen to the podcast here, and then every time that I make a show, I'm going to basically talk about what I learned the day before. And what we're going to go and what I'm going to talk about is all the graphs and all of the things that we talked about. I'm going to highlight the big graphs that we talked about, the important parts, the data, the chewy part of what it is. And the idea is that the Substack is your way if you've missed a show, or if you are interested in the show notes, you're interested in the actual study, because guys, we go through a lot of original documents here, and that is legitimately something unique that we do here. And the goal is going to be to, one, give you those original documents, two, highlight the important parts that we found in the original documents, and three, give you something that you could send to your friend that you could catch up on. If you didn't watch it, you can catch up on the Substack. And what's cool is that, like, they're basically Cohen, guys. If you didn't know, they are going for YouTube's podcasts thing. So what's going on at the Substack is that while you're listening to the podcast, there's going to be an audio version of what you're listening to right now playing while you are reading here and you're looking at the graphs. And then you could go in to the Substack, the actual website, and it's basically kind of like Twitter for some of it. There's a feed, there's things, but then there's also a feed for only your followers. Okay, so this is kind of like the more this, you can go up here and you can see the For You page or the following. So if you go following, it's just stuff that you're following. So there's none of that social media algorithm stuff that's pushing stuff that I talk about, right? Dr. Michael's in here. He has a great Substack. But the idea is they're going for the podcasts. They're going for the meaty podcast and that's where we are. That's what we do here, right? That is what we do, dense information. So please check it out, and I would appreciate you subscribing. It's free. I don't have any plans right now to monetize it, at least right now. And hey, MT's in here. He's the one that recommended it. MT, what's up, brother? Hey man, I got my Substack going. I was just talking to them how I think Substack is like social media 2.0 because it really puts more power in the content creators' hands to kind of like put out a podcast, to put out more meat, more information, more graphs along with their audio podcast. So it's kind of like a YouTube podcast 2.0.
Absolutely. That's why I'm trying to get as many leftist creators on there as possible. And that's especially why I wanted to encourage you on there, because as a scientist, I know that you are, more versed in long form communication. You're able to create facts. Some people know how to create facts. Some people claim they do research but can't read. So as a fact creator, a potential fact creator, I wanted to make sure that you had the appropriate tools. I also wanted to notify you that our group, our network, just crossed 7 million in our follower count tonight.
Wow.
So you can add that to your little board, because by connecting with me, you are part of that.
Beautiful.
I want to make sure that your followers, all of your community knows that, they're part of something palpable, they're part of something tangible. And it's a very big milestone, especially because just starting this year, I set an ambitious goal for 4 million, to get as many creators as we could to reach 4 million followers this year. So having crossed 7, we've almost doubled this year's goal. We need to hit the critical mass of 20 million followers in the network by the first quarter of next year. But at this rate, I think we can do it sooner.
Nice.
So yeah, just make sure to advertise that, and I'll keep you updated with what our total numbers are and whatnot. And once you're tapped in and integrated, you'll be able to see. We have a group chat and stuff for our creators.
Yeah, add me, dude. I'm down.
And things like that. But yeah, I also wanted to chat a little bit, because we didn't have any time really to chat. I just wanted to hang out kind of on the line. I don't know how you operate your lives because I've only seen you a couple times now. I don't know if you have people hang out like friendlies and whatnot.
Yeah. I just basically, it's just like an ask me anything thing, and we do all types, not just ops only or whatever. So it's all good. Yeah, man. So I guess I was a bench scientist for like 16 years, and I started doing this in like 2021, and then TikTok specifically since like July, August, and it's been amazing. So it's been a really good time.
When you say you were a bench scientist, what you mean by that?
Basically moving small amounts of liquids from one tube to another and just like actually doing the pipetting and all that kind of stuff. So changing genes around, doing sequencing, making new strains of yeast and bacteria and algae, and engineering new types of nanotechnology. That's what I did my PhD with. Yeah.
That's what's up. Look, I have to take a call real quick, buddy. I'll be back. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I was actually just popping off, but do you want to hop on tomorrow and then we can talk?
Oh, no problem.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll hop on tomorrow.
All right, perfect. I talk to you then, man.
All right, later, bro.
Peace. All right, guys. Make the gift goal 500. 500 zesty pointsies. Oh my gosh, guys. All right. Okay. Thank you. Envy, you better not just put 500 zesty pops in here. I feel guilty. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being very nice. Oh, 2 frags. Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh, is that for the Oh, thank you guys. Also, I think that the super fans are like half off right now. I got a it's drgregshow.substack.com. It's also at the top here, Substack on the little icon. Can be gained and lost. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, guys. Yeah, the Substack is honestly really cool. I really like it. It's just that's the thing is, guys, I'm trying to figure out, and what I've known in the analytics is that I need to do more with my episodes, and I just go live and then I just shut it off and then that's it. And if I could do a 2-hour show and then market that show for the next hour, I basically need to do all the editing myself and all the cuts and all the uploading and all that kind of stuff. So, I have a to-do list now every time every time that I do. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, I'm trying to get it all done. Get it going. Check out the super fans, guys. If it was a half off, that also is really cool. Thank you, guys. Dang, ex cult girl. Thank you, guys. Wow. Bare necessity. Thank you, MB. Yeah, skills survey, guys. I think we need my goal right now. We organized. We basically the California is asleep at the wheel on the weekends, and then the government kind of reopens on Mondays, and then the business office is going to register safe on Monday, and then we register the doing business as for MAVA, and that's going to be this week. So we have officially created SAFE, which is the Safe Science and Freedom for Everyone, and we actually created a 501c3. So we have a foundation. We have a foundation, which is a 501c3, which is our education arm, and then we have a Safe Action Fund. So we're going to have both of them. So a 501c3 is going to be tax deductible. If you want your money going towards just education, we're talking about just vaccine education, trying to help people and wherever we want, whatever program we want, guys. That's the cool thing is that we can direct this. This is our money that we are deciding to do with. And then the 501c4, the C4 is kind of like the political action money, right? That is the money that we can pay to lobby, that we can, you can't do it all in politics. So like there's actually a stipulation that you have to use 50% of it for lobbying causes. You can only use about like 30-40% for actual elections, which is, if you want to know what a super PAC is, that is what a super PAC is. Super PACs can be spent exclusively on elections. So that's what happens. Basically, a 501c4 will give money to unlimited amounts of money to the super PAC, and then the super PAC will be the attack arm of the 501c4s, because the 501c4 has that limitation. So that is what that's how they work. Will you research long COVID damage? We've watched Iwasaki videos from Yale. She's an amazing researcher, and I will continue covering it. So yeah, we do talk about it a lot, Boobaloo. So we talk about that a lot. It's a very important thing. Thank you for bringing up long COVID. It is an important thing that people are living with, and it is very important. Thank you. I'm just a Bill. Thank you, guys. Thank you for doing the Substack thing. It's honestly something that I'm learning about, and I'm really liking as I go on there. Subscribe. Is it actually the Superfans half off, Bear? Is that right? So that is really cool. That really helps, guys. That really does. Thank you, user, for subscribing on Substack. That is awesome. So yeah, every show is going to be uploaded in an audio format, and then all the show notes and all the graphs and all that kind of stuff is going to be there every day. So the show notes, if you missed a show, you can get it, and all the original documents that we have. Oh yeah, I guess I hang around until we get 167 coins. I guess that's what MB's calling me to do, so that's what I will do. Um, oh, let's see. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's all good. I will do it. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Oh, wow, guys. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so kind. We are so close. I don't know what frags are, but usually frags in video games are a good thing, so I'm going to do that. Thank you guys. Whoa. Bear, thank you. Kathleen, Robert, thank you guys. Wow. Wow, guys. Thank you so much. Frags are usually a thing that you want. I played Counter-Strike for a really long time. Frags are like the things that you really want. So I'm assuming that's a good thing. In Paw Patrol, the frags made Mighty Pups. So I'm totally down to become a mighty Dr. G at 500. Wow, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Wow. Dude, amazing. Thank you, guys. What this has to be, we have to be at the A level. We're A's for sure. That's it. We leveled up to A. I think we're A plus. Have to be A plus at this point, right? That's like, and no, wrong. We're S tier, baby. We are S tier. Yeah, Paw Patrol is on a roll, dude. So here we go. All right, A plus plus stream exactly. S tier, guys. We are S tier. Thank you, guys. Really trying to clear out so I can. I love it. I'm pretty sure we got it. Let me check. Okay, MB, we got it. Back to the top 10%. Guys, let's go. That is amazing. Hi, Bookie. Come tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow night, again, 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm probably, yeah. Honestly, guys, you know what? Let's. I have some admin stuff to do, so I could pop in the group chat and in Discord for a little bit, as long as I'm just like in and out. But if you guys want to chill there, we can have an after stream Discord hangout for the next hour. So check that out. Join the Discord. Let's see. Let's hang out. Let's chill. Let's chill. I love this song. It is good. It is a good song. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Greg Show. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for helping me make sense of science. We're doing it together every night, 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Bye. See ya. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat. Amazing. Thank you. Amazing stream. Thank you, guys. See ya. Peace. YouTube. I love you guys. Thank you for watching YouTube. Thank you for being there. I love the YouTube. I love you guys. Thank you. Peace.